So, welcome to. I don't have any special screens up early this year because I lazy. I don't really care actually for this part. Um, I got the important stuff working. That's the only thing that matters. And yeah. So anyway, happy New Year. This is the year in review stream for 2025. We'll be talking again about Twitch, YouTube, Steam, wishlist stuff, cleaning that up, and also looking forward to games coming out next year. And that's for the bulk of it. We'll probably get distracted talking about other stuff, I'm sure. But like I said, mainly it's trying to look back at 2025 and that kind of fun stuff. And the most streamed game was, we'll find that out too. Don't worry. Don't worry. So, Twitch. How did it go? How did Twitch go this year? I had growth, believe it or not, and not a lot, but there was some. And I've actually got the data to back it up. I'll put that actually up on the screen. That'll help explain things a little bit better, I think. This. So, well, this is a site that I've used off and on over the years. It's called, there it is. There it goes. So this is TwitchTracker. It basically just tracks. You can look up any streamer on Twitch if you want. You can use anybody. This is my specific page. Again, just head over to twitchtracker.com, and again, you can look up any streamer you want. So none of this is AI or artificial or screenshots, and this is what I'm currently looking at out of my stream or my screen and through a browser, and of course that's what it is. So as you can see, we got all kinds of things like there's an overview, there's streams, games, subs, statistics, and clips. Currently we're just looking at statistics. Rank is, I don't know what this number actually really means, 39,648. I honestly have no idea what that number means. In all honesty, I do not know, because you got to remember about Twitch, there's more than a few streamers. There's millions of streamers, literally. And if this is my rank within millions of them, great. But I severely doubt this means I'm in the top 39,000 or the top 40,000 of streamers. It might be true. It might not be true. Again, I have no idea what this rank number is supposed to be. I didn't bother to look it up because I honestly really don't care what my rank is. I care about this stuff here, this little graph, because this is the stuff that matters as far as if you are trying to grow your stream. This is the stuff you're supposed to be looking at. In this case, followers gained, and for, as you can see, this is for just this year, starting on January 1st to, today. So it's not all the way filled in because today is not complete, obviously, but it'll be there tomorrow for sure. And actually, some of the data might be there today, but I don't think it is. It might be. Not worried about it. So anyway. So followers gained, only picked up 100 this year. But as you can see here at the end of December, there's a nice little drop off here. And I think this is something Twitch does on a random thing. They don't do it that often, as you can tell. But every now and then they go through their user lists and they clean them out a little bit. And so if somebody is following you and they get kicked off of Twitch, it affects this number. Again, not a huge deal because it only turned out to be blah, 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 14 people got kicked off the list, it looked like. And so, but it all happened on the same day, that nice little drop off, not a big deal. But anyway, 100 new followers for the year. So less than one new follower every day, less than a new follower every 3 days, every 3 streams, not every 3 days, every 3 streams. That good, that bad? It really, for a small streamer, not a big deal. Actually, like I said, this is actually a good number. Plus 100 for the year. I'm totally happy with that. And in all honesty, I really am. And we can always go back and look at other years too to compare, but we'll do that after we look at this stuff first. Hours streamed, 2,100, almost 22. If you don't know the significance of this number, is if you work a job, a real job, if you're working full time, you work, if that means 40 hours a week. 52 weeks in the year, full 40 hours a week, taking time off and this stuff. And again, this is American numbers, not necessarily European and Asian stuff. It's just strictly American, United States numbers. Full time is 2,200 hours in the year if you're working 40 hours a week, concerning holidays and that kind of fun stuff. So anyway, so basically full-time job. Is at least the time coming in. It doesn't feel like a full-time job, but that's hour-wise works. Average viewers, 22. I don't know if this number is up from last year or not. We'll see. But a lot of the times this year, this number was at 20 most months, it felt like. And as you can see down here, our average viewers, see the beginning of the year, very slow. And then as we came here, we did pretty well. We get a little bit of growth here near the end of the year. Two best months, August and December. We'll go through this, and I had to look. This is where this site is worth the money, which is free, and you can actually go to the month and see why do I have a jump in average viewers here? What was I doing here that was different? And the answer is Baldur's Gate 1. Baldur's Gate 1 and Star Valor were my highest two average games for that month, and that's why it's a nice little spike at 25. December, I think Neverwinter Nights is the bigger one, is a big one here too. Even though I've been doing it for a couple of months, technically, it really started picking up this month, so that's good. Isn't counting the time spent on background of the stream. No, it does not count off stream. This is just strictly streaming. It is a full-time job. It is. It really is. So, anyway, so average viewers, peak viewers. Unfortunately, this peak viewer number is always slanted because of raids. Raids affect your peak viewer numbers. I wish it didn't. It's cool. I wish they had a separate number for raids, like peak viewers with raids, peak viewers without, because I want to see what my peak viewership through natural growth is. Raids are artificial growth, and because they don't always happen. If you got rated, by the same people every stream, it'd be great. That'd be a relevant number, but unfortunately, that's not how it works, and that's not what actually happens. So again, I'd like to see this number. And this is controlled by Twitch. This peak viewer thing. That's where this data is coming from. It's directly from Twitch. And I wish there was, like I said, I wish there was two numbers, rated and without raids, because I'd like to see actual real growth, or how many people were there naturally, as in because they were either following the channel already, or they found me on the Twitch main homepage or whatever. They were looking for stuff, and they came to the channel naturally, not artificially through rating. Again, rating is a cool thing, but for tracking your actual progression, it doesn't really help you. All the classics like Icewind Dale plays games. Hey, Beacon, welcome back. I don't know why you put your hook on Skyrim is, Taco. I already told you. I'm not streaming it. I already told you that. I'm not streaming Skyrim. So hours watched. This is you guys. This is how many hours the stream has been watched. So I stream it for 2,100 hours, yet we've got 48,000 hours watched. And that's you guys being here watching the stream. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. Because again, this is an important number too. You want to see this number grow. Unfortunately, it does not show on this graph. We can have it show on the graph. So anyway, there's our peak viewers. There you can see the yellow lines. And the big spikes, those are raids. Just to be clear, these big spikes are from raids. So that's why this big one up to whatever that number is, 73. And then here, have these little spikes here and there. But for the most part, we have their average and then the actual peaks. And the ups and downs and whatever. The up and down things. Anyway, hours watched. Nice little purple number. Continue. Nice little upward slope. Not as high as hours streamed, but that's okay. And then active days every day, basically. Which is not true. I'm pretty sure that's not true. I am almost positive I did not stream every day this year. I know I missed at least one day. I know I missed at least 3 days. Let's put it that way. I know I missed at least 3 days. So I don't know what happens there. But yeah. But anyway. So that stuff. And then, of course, we don't need to see this stuff. So, and again, and if you want to just change your date range. So how do we do last year in comparison? I wish we can compare year to year on a nice little thing. But is that right? There we go. So as you can see, we've had some growth. So average viewers is up by 1, but that's okay. Streamed hours, streamed is a little less, but that's fine. Followers gained is a little off, but no, it's not. We're still, because we're actually above 100 for the year. but we had the clean out by Twitch more than likely because we lost 14 this month for some reason. So, and we were at 100. So technically, we were 2 followers more this year than last year. Because I don't know if there's any cleanups here. There could have been, but it's hard to tell. And you can see the blue line all over the place. Again, that's really dependent on what you're playing too. Hours watched went away. Away from what? There. I can turn them off here. Hey, Grayling, welcome back. So hours watched there. So that number is peak viewers 108. Again, hello Raid. Look at that big number back there. Then the beginning, the first of the again. This is last year's data too. So hours watched 47,000 compared to 48. So hours watched a little bit better than last year, which you would expect when you have more average viewers. So you would expect that. And then active days are active days. 364, 364. So yeah, whatever. And then of course you can go back even farther. Okay, let's go to 2020. How'd 2020 go? 2020 was one of my better years, I think, in all honesty. And look at hours streamed, 2,400. Followers gained 292. 2020 was because, it's COVID. So average viewers a little bit higher. Peak viewers 109. Again, that's from Raid, but you can see all the little yellow things there. Hours watched 54,000. Active days 367. Not sure how that happens when there's only 365 in a year, but whatever. But yeah, so 2020, this is one of my better years recently. Seemed to last longer. Hey, Bruner, welcome back. It didn't seem to last longer. It was just... what you got to remember is this is also the year I believe I started streaming full time. It was before COVID hit. So flashback to 2020. Early 2020, I was still running a business. Me and Mrs. Gimpy were running our own little personal business. And in December of 2019, I had a health issue come up and it was determined that I need to stop running the business. And as a result, it was already predetermined that I'd be retiring in 2020 in March. It was already predetermined in December, before COVID was even a thing. I already knew I was going to be retiring, or at least retiring in quotes, and doing whatever I want after that, again, for health reasons. And so that was all pre-planned, before then. Hey, ad, what are you doing here, ad? We don't want to see no ad. Go away. Go away, ad. So anyway, so pre-planned retirement in March. I retired, I think, in the first week. Yeah, officially retired the first week of March, the same week that COVID became a real thing here in California. As in, it was, okay, it's a thing, it's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And then nobody was really sure what was going to happen. And so, but I'd already determined that I was going to start streaming full time by then. So it was a weird coincidence there. Totally coincidence, right? And so, like I said, this is when I started this is why we have the hours streamed. It probably jumps up a little bit from previous years, like, let's see, 2019. Slight different in numbers there. Slight difference. Look, almost half the time streamed. But actually, 2019 was actually a pretty good year too. Average viewers, a lot of followers, hours watched, not too bad. But the hours streamed are, of course, a lot lower. This is when I was just streaming pretty much, 3 hours a day, maybe? And my stream schedule was, at this point, I had been playing different games. So we're still doing, looks like a lot of World of Warcraft, it looks like. X4. Experimenting with looking at different games and stuff. Battletech is in there. MechWarrior Online. RimWorld. Space Haven's in there, too. So, again, less hours per day, but still doing pretty good on average hours. So that's why I love this site. You can go back in time and look at stuff. In ring. I was making a joke about that. 367 days. Oh, okay. I did. Yeah, I get the joke now. For a while when you were not full time. Yeah, fun, huh? Can you mention what it was you did before this? By the way, I don't think I ever asked. What? Work wise? I did a bunch of stuff. Well, maybe not a bunch. If you're asking for my work history, I'll explain that if you want. Or are you just asking streaming wise? Because streaming wise, hours per day as per stream is, even though it's, pretty much streaming almost every day, the hours are definitely lower. So there's that. So again, this is just straight up statistics, like the numbers. Now if we want to actually look at the games I played, or overview, what's the overview? I forget what this does. Oh, this is just everything more condensed, a little bit better. Oh, look, we got a live stream up. Channel performance over time. There's our hours streamed, average viewers, and that's, oh wow, that's every year. So as you can see, I was actually doing much better back here. This is when I wasn't streaming as often. This is when, as you can see, my game selection was mostly MechWarrior Online, some XCOM, BattleTech's in there too. Looks like Total War as well. So, except pre-2020, before I went full time, I was actually not doing too horrible, which is really tempting to go back to a 3-hour schedule. Just to not kid around here. It's very tempting to go back to just streaming 3 hours a day, because I was actually doing better with the shorter stream. There's a reason for that too. But yeah. What didn't I do? What job were you doing around 2019 or so? So more idle. In 2019, Mrs. Gimpy and I were running a real estate management company, as in we were landlords for other people. We got paid to manage people's property. Mech stuff equals more people. Well, that's also, so this is, yeah, well, you got to remember my streaming career started with MechWarrior Online. And then, so when you go to, play more similar type games like BattleTech, you're obviously going to drag a lot of those people along. But once you start playing other stuff, population drops off. But the problem with playing the same game over and over and over again this every day is it gets mind numbing. Hospital, yes. So work history. Work history for the last, we'll just say starting from 2000. 2000, I was working for a group of hospitals here in San Diego. I was official title was technical analyst. Reality was I was a web server administrator. I was a database administrator and a server admin as well. So I basically had 3 different hats there. I did that before 2000, but I did that through 2012. 2012 was when I officially left the job. But before then, approximately, actually when the Great Recession was, 2008, 2007? When that's when the property and stocks and all the economy went to shit, was 2007, right? At that point in time, Mrs. Gimpy and I decided we wanted to start dabbling in real estate because prices had really dropped, not just here in California, but in other places. And so we thought about buying property here in California, but it was still pretty high. It was outside of our goal range, is really what we wanted to do. So we started looking at other states. And so that's what we did. We bought property in other states and we managed that stuff ourselves. And we go, hey, if we can do this remotely, we should probably try to do it more locally and be more efficient at it. And it turns out that we have some friends and family in the area that are into real estate and owning it and trying to make a living off of it, but they hate managing it. And we said, we will manage it for you if you pay us. And they said, sure. And that grew into a little business. And that started really in earnest in 2012. And that's when I left my real job, because at that point we were making enough money for me to do that, and did that until 2020. And that's when we switched. That's when the late 2019 is when the health issue kicked in, because I was stressing out too much over the job and that kind of stuff, and said I had to get out of this. And as a result, full-time streaming in 2020, March. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Game burnout is a real thing too. So I had a niche set up with MechWarrior, and it makes sense that some people who gather to the stream around that niche would fall off when you stream out there. Exactly, and that's what happens. And this is the tricky part. 3 sats equals 3 salaries? Sadly, no. I wish. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, and this is kind of the what I've learned about Twitch. I think we end up discussing this every year when it comes down to Twitch. Why am I not a huge streamer and whatever, blah blah blah. There's a reason for that. There's a couple of different reasons. If I would have stuck with, say, Mech Warrior and the mech type games, I'd probably be bigger today than I am. But I was burning out on those games because that's what happens is I burn out. And that's why I don't play the same game every day. I get into these little clicks where I play the same game 2 or 3 times a week, and I'll do that for weeks on end. But that doesn't bother my brain nearly as much as playing the same game every day, which is almost mandatory for a starting streamer. Unless you're really, really lucky or work really, really hard, and you have a previous a previous existing network of people to talk to and stuff about growing your little streaming business, which today is even harder than it was 10 years ago. Right? 10 years ago was much easier than it is today because today there's so much more competition. It's not that it's harder to do. It's just there's that much more competition you have to deal with. So, plus old eyes hard on MechWare. Yes. Main jump from was Rocket Taxi. Yeah, the taxi service for Rocket is still a thing. But anyway, so like I said, we discuss this pretty much every year. And average viewers, 20. What's this number from? Oh, this is the past 7 days. Oh, that's right. This is a good one. It's past third for the past month. This is what we're looking at for numbers here. But anyway, streaming. It's not easy. It's people think that it's, you just start playing video games and people start watching you. It doesn't work that way. Ask all the millions of streamers out there who only average, if they're lucky, 5 people watching their stream when they stream. I mean, if you can get to 20, you're considered within the top 5% of streamers on Twitch. If you can get to 20 average viewers, that's not a joke. And, to get into that upper, 1 or 2% where you're getting the, say, hundreds or thousands of viewers every time you stream, that's a lot. There's some luck there. And of course there's hard work and, having a good idea and being good at what you're doing. I mean, there's no joke. If you can keep 1,000 people watching you every time you stream, you're doing something right. What it is, I have no idea because I watch different streamers of different numbers all the time randomly. And it's just like, I don't understand how they get as many viewers as they do half the time. If I'm watching streamers with like 1,000 or hell, I won't even go say 1,000. I'll say 200. 200 viewers. If you have over 200 viewers watching you on a regular basis, and I'll just like randomly watch these streams, I can't figure it out. Hey, Maury, welcome back. So, any proof there was a huge viewer drop off when Scout disappeared? No. They buy them. No, that's not necessarily true, Taco. Because that's just why I watch the streams. Because you go in there and you actually watch them and see what they're doing, and you watch chat and see how active chat is. And the viewer, if you're buying viewers, usually those people are inactive. But if you actually go to these streams that have a lot of people in them, their chats are, if they're a good streamer, their chats are active, meaning they're real people. And they're not necessarily bought. Boobs dress up or giveaways. That's another thing too. Yes. But you can't, boobs sell. Let's not kid ourselves. It does sell. The problem with those people, though, is they have to be really careful. Otherwise, they might get, suspended for a few days because Twitch doesn't want them to go away forever. So they bring them back, right? So, yes, boobs sell. Dress up, I don't get. That one I will never get. Why people want to watch people dress up on stream, I have no idea. And then what's the other one? Giveaways. Giveaways always attract people, but the giveaways do not keep people around. Because if you're going to a stream for giveaways, as soon as those giveaways stop, people disappear. And then you realize, hey, that's what my audience was here for. They weren't here to watch me or watch the games and stuff. They were just here for the free shit. And that doesn't last too long. Unless you can, of course, keep giveaways going. But even then, it was like, ugh. stream out there of over 200 people that has not started setting through past streams, YouTube's posting elsewhere for a long, long time. Oh yeah, that's it. You have to do. You cannot just stream on Twitch and expect your stream to grow. It's very unlikely. Again, it's too competitive. There's too many streamers out there. And the chance of you getting out there just on luck, or, okay, oh, somebody, people just start watching me because, oh, I have these creative stream titles. That ain't going to work because there's 10 million of those every day. So you have to do other stuff, which means social media. You have to, you have to get on Twitter, aka X, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. These days, at least, those are the ones that you have to be on in order to get the word out about yourself. You have to self-promote. You have to convince other people to promote you. Blah blah blah. It's a lot of work. It really is. And so, if you want lots of viewers, that's what you're gonna have to do. As you can see, I'm not doing that. So, at least not doing it effectively. I have branched out, of course, over to YouTube more than I was, because I think it was 2 years ago now, or is it? I think this year was officially 2 years that I've been a partner on YouTube. I think, meaning that I have over 1,000 subs on YouTube. Keeping in mind that subs on YouTube are not the same thing as subs on Twitch. Sub on Twitch means you're giving money to the streamer. A sub on YouTube means you are following that stream. You're not giving them money. You're just following them. And that's pretty much what that means. But getting to 1,000 on YouTube these days is no small feat unless you're doing, clickbait type stuff or, whatever. Get lucky that somebody big, says, oh, watch this person. And which is, always important too. So, but again, you have to, if you want to become a bigger streamer, you have to work multiple angles. Social media things. You have to do it because if you don't, you will never become a big streamer. And I can only around 95,000 viewers to become big, so it'll come in a few years or so. Again, I gave up on being a partner on Twitch a long time ago. It's because once you're an affiliate, there's really no real big motivation to become a partner. And I don't think you can really convince me otherwise because as an affiliate, I get subs. People can sub. I get ad revenue, and that's pretty much. I mean, the only thing a partner really gets is they have a chance to show up on the main page of Twitch. Okay, that'll grow. Maybe grow. That might pull some more viewers in for you. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. And what else? I think you get a slightly better ad revenue share, or do you get a better? No, I don't think you do. I think the ad revenue share is totally dependent on how you set things up. I think, again, not being a partner, but I don't think partners make really that much more in ad rev. Like it's only like 5 or 10% at most. As in, instead of getting like say half, I think partners might get 60% instead of 50% as opposed to affiliate. Sub percent gained. The money is still the same because they changed the system for subs. Because it's for affiliates, it's always been 50%. You get 50% of whatever the sub is. So if somebody's paying $5 US for a sub, you get $2.50 of it, and the rest goes to Twitch. And partners were the same way, unless they negotiated a higher percentage, which some of them have done. That like they would negotiate like 60% or something like that. But that's a negotiation and they have to do stuff in order to do that. They have to, agree to do things or not do things, whatever. But affiliates, it's always been 50-50. But Twitch changed it about a year or two ago, maybe a year ago, where everyone can get higher percentage if they do a certain amount of subs every month for so many months or whatever it is. I forget what the system is. It's something you have to get like, they developed a point system is really what it is. So it's not so much the number of subs. It's like a tier 1 sub is worth 1 point, tier 2s are 2s, and 3s are 3s, that kind of thing. And if you get 100 points, sub points for a month, you qualify for maybe getting the higher percentage of the sub money. So instead of getting 50%, it might get bumped up to 55, 60%. But you have to maintain those 100 sub points for like 3 months or some crazy number, I think it is. This is why Twitch isn't real popular with a lot of streamers these days, because of the hoops you have to jump through to get more money through sub money. It's just the way it is. And again, it's the sub points. And I don't have it up on the stream right now, but that's kind of what it is. And so anybody can get a higher, payout in subs. But you have to have, it's totally dependent on how many subs you have and how long you can maintain them. So once you get up to 100 points a month, you have to keep maintaining that number in order to keep the high percentage, which makes sense. But again, you still have to, basically it's just showing that you are putting in the work to maintain your channel and also continue to grow too. Because this is another thing people tend to forget about how these businesses work, in that when you, say, you have a sub goal, say like mine is like 50 or 60 subs a month, basically. That's what my goal is. That's not what it's happening, but that's my goal. Now, in order to hit that, say 50 subs a month, you have to convince those people that are subbing currently to stay. And there's two ways there's technically three ways to get a sub. You sub yourself, for whatever, tier 1, tier 2, tier 1, 2, or 3. Or you use Prime, which is, the 1, 2, and 3 subs, they can renew automatically every month. So those are the coolest kind. The Prime subs are cool because they're basically free to the person using it because it's part of your Amazon Prime account privilege or perks or whatever you want to call it. I use it myself, and to sub to channels randomly every now and then when I remember. But the downside to it is it doesn't automatically renew because of the way it works, because it's not technically through Twitch. It's because Twitch is owned by Amazon. It's a little affiliation that they have together, that kind of thing. So you have to remember to do that every month. It's good for the streamer, but it's not good for the streamer because it is not automatically renewed, and that person has to remember to do it, and they can use it. And if they don't remember to use it on their channel and there's no real reminder to tell you, hey, it's up on this channel right now, and you should probably go back there and renew it. There's no real that stuff happening in the background. So not so good. And then the last way to go is gift subs, which again, good for the streamer, but not good because the gift subs are not permanent. They're not renewed like the regular subs are. They're nice to have, and sometimes those gift subs turn into real subs, but it's highly rare. At least for me, I think it's happened maybe twice over the years. So it's a great gift because that's really what it is. It's a gift to the person getting the sub, and it's a gift to the streamer. But as far as growing and maintaining your streamer count or your sub count, it is not that good because it's nice to see, but in reality, for building a business, it doesn't really work. So, yeah. Free if you have an Amazon Prime account. Oh, that's what I said. It's a perk of Amazon Prime, is the Prime gaming stuff. So that. So anyway, as I was saying, then the reason I brought this something up is because if you're trying to grow your channel, what you have to remember is, yeah, okay, I hit my 50 subs for the month. That's my goal. Yay. But the thing is, you have to do that every month. You have to continue, trying to do that. You have to continue trying to grow your stream, because if you just hit, I'm just going to hit idle or cruise control, your numbers are going to drop because people disappear naturally over time. A lot of you guys have been here a long time, which is great, which is awesome. And I really appreciate that. And there's newer people here that's great. We have some growth. That's, seeing new names like Ruiner and, Taco and Maury and, other people out there. Seeing new names in the chat is great because it's showing I'm growing a little bit, especially when if you show up once, great. If you show up 5 or 6 times, that's awesome. Right? I see people's names in chat, I have another application that I use to monitor, who's in chat and stuff. So I get familiar with names. Even though I'm not saying something in chat, I recognize the names, that show up in the channel on a regular basis, which is cool. Because not everybody needs to chat. Not everybody wants to chat. Sometimes you just want to sit back and listen or watch or whatever you want to do. But, I see those names, and I see regulars that are here on a regular, or see people that are here on a regular basis. Either they're new or they've been here a long time, like Hobo and Catker. They're sitting in the channel. They're not saying anything. I know I just called them out, but they'll live. They're used to this stuff. They've been here a long time. And then we have newer people that don't say anything. I won't say their names because I don't want to drive them away. Right? I don't want to throw them to the wolves. Hobo and Catker have been around not long enough. They can take it. But newer people might not want that, because not everybody's going into a channel to be recognized. They just want to watch and listen. Some people do want to participate in chat and, whatever. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. And whatever works for you works for me, in all honesty. But again, if you want to grow your channel, you have to, you always have to be going out there and pushing your stuff and trying to get other people to, basically just trying to get your name out there and get recognized. And that's it. And it's not easy. It's not as easy as you think. Because again, it's very competitive, and it's not just competitive here on Twitch. It's also competitive over on Twitter and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. It's competitive to get views there to get views back here. Right? I learned this one doing YouTube stuff, which I really started focusing in the last couple of years. And my YouTube channel is growing, believe it or not. I mean, it's not huge growing, but there's consistent growth here. I haven't found anything compatible to or comparable to what this site does. They probably exist out there for YouTube, but I haven't really found anything yet that does. But it'd be nice if it did exist, because I find these numbers are very helpful, and YouTube's numbers they're there, but they're harder to find, it feels like. But like I said, the YouTube is growing, and even within YouTube, you have different types of videos in YouTube. If you didn't know this already, YouTube we have what they call the long form videos, which are videos that are like over 7-8 minutes long. Those are the ones you can usually monetize doing different things. And then there's the short forms, which is the shorts on YouTube, which are videos that are, I think, a minute or under, I think is the official thing there. And monetization on those guys is a little different. They don't pay out the same way as they do on the long forms. Long forms are basically, you get paid based on how many views or clicks, whatever you want to call them. And it usually works out to be for every, I think you get to like 18 cents for every 10 or 100 views or something like that. It's crazy. But the short forms is you get like 18 cents for every 1,000 views or 2,000 views, whatever crazy number it is there. You don't basically, the short forms, you don't get paid as much. And the reason for that is because it's a shorter video, less opportunity for ads. The long form videos give more opportunity for showing ads. And that's why you get paid more. And usually, because if you can generate, more views there, you're going to generate more ad revenue, not just for yourself, but for YouTube as well, because that's how that works. That's how this free stuff works. And yeah, if you don't like watching ads, you should probably think about investing in a subscription service like, I don't know, Netflix, or YouTube actually has a subsurface this time, or a sub now too. But again, yeah, invest in, if you don't like watching ads these days, you're going to have to pay for it some way or another. Yes, I know you can do ad blockers and stuff like that, but keep in mind when you do ad blockers, you're screwing the person who you are trying to support by watching their stuff. Keep that in mind. When you use an ad blocker, do not use it on somebody you actually want to support, aka me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't use an ad blocker when you're watching my stuff. I'd really appreciate it, because that's what I do for other people. I don't use ad blockers. I take that back. I do use ad blockers, and it lets me know that I don't want to visit this site that is trying to, get me to pay for a service that is usually free for everybody else. So, but the difference here is when you see an ad here on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, I'm not personally asking you to buy that stuff. That's what the ad is for. If you want to click through it, go for it. If you want to use ad blocker, go for it. But keep in mind, when you use ad blockers, it affects how much money that I'm getting. So if you have, it doesn't cost you anything to watch an ad here on Twitch or YouTube. It doesn't cost you anything but time. And it doesn't really help the person producing the content. We're here for a reason. I've already expect, how much time do I spend in a year making video or streaming? I'm doing, this is a full-time job. I don't make minimum wage. I shit you not. I didn't make nowhere close to minimum wage. I don't make, I'm lucky if I make $1 an hour. I shit you not. This is this is not how you live. This is not how you live. So, and yeah, you can make money. So it's not that I'm not making any money. I'm just not making a lot of money that I would consider. It pays for a couple of bills, between YouTube and Twitch. It pays probably maybe 1 or 2 bills a month. And it's usually like the water bill, part of the electrical bill, the doesn't even cover the internet bill, I don't think. Probably if I put everything in one, they would cover the internet bill. But I use it for paying, the important, really important stuff like water and electricity. Because without those, internet bill doesn't mean shit. So, but anyway, so that stuff comes first, and that's where this money is usually going towards. Of course, and then of course the rocket treats too, which are priority, the real priority of the rocket treats, which you'll see those numbers during break times when we do those. But anyway, that's stuff. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I learned a new trick on YouTube yesterday to help getting the word out about streams on YouTube or videos. So this is a new thing. So I'm going to share a link to one of my videos on YouTube, not to get the hits, but just to show you what it's doing or what this new tool is, so I can explain it so you can understand. So that's a video from a couple of days ago. It's episode 7, part 1 of Shadows of Undrun Tide over in Neverwinter Nights. And if you go to that link and then go down to the text, go down below the video where it says Gimpy Knee, and then it says how many views there are and whatever. And at the far right-hand side, see the ... more. Click on that. And below that, you should see it says broadcasted live on Twitch. Blah, blah, blah. It's my main advertising saying, hey, come back and watch the stream, which does work. We've had a number of people come in and watch the stream because of stuff they see on YouTube, that's the point of the whole thing of doing it on YouTube, is to drive people here on Twitch. And it works. Not a lot. It's not, I'm not taking huge numbers, obviously, but every now and then somebody comes in, oh, I saw your video up on YouTube. That's cool, blah, blah, blah. I just want to see you live. And that's the whole point. It's doing its job. But if you actually read that little description below that, I didn't type that out. I copy and pasted that in. This is a new thing I learned literally yesterday, because this is one of the things I do when I'm not streaming. Part of the job is learning how to get more exposure on YouTube. And there's all kinds of little tricks you have to do. And I've been playing around watching, there's YouTubers out there that's their business, right? Their business is to create videos, mostly, teaching people how to grow their channels on YouTube. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you aren't supposed to do. And they're all over the place, and they all have different opinions. Some are better than others, obviously. Yesterday, randomly ran into this guy, and he was just, explaining these are, this is how they get their attention. They go, top 10 things you should do the first thing when you post a new video on YouTube, blah, 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 blah. And they go through the top 10 things. And most of the time these days, it's like, yeah, I know that. But yesterday, I ran into this one. And it's something that I had been kicking around in the back of my head using AI to help make these videos better. And in this case, it's more about getting SEO, was it search engine optimization? And there's a way to do that. And that's what this guy was basically told you what you do. You use ChatGTP. You go in, first you go into your video that you want to do. And then when you click on the more button, blah, 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 it comes in on there. And then that shows the transcript. If you just scroll down a little bit farther, it says there's a little show transcript button. So everything that I'm saying right now, and then I put this, because I'm going to turn this into a highlight, put it up on YouTube in a day or so. It's going to go up on YouTube, and then YouTube processes it. And if you're watching closed captioning right now here on the stream, YouTube does the same thing, but automatically when you post a video. And so what you do with ChatGTP is you go into your transcript for the video, you copy and paste it into ChatGTP, and ChatGTP looks at it and goes, okay, what do you want me to do with this? And then you tell it what you want to do. And the guy explained till you basically tells you what you want to tell ChatGPT what you want to do with this. And basically we're telling it to, write a short description based on, what we just uploaded, the transcript, again, which is what I'm saying, right now. It goes through the transcript and pokes out all the important stuff and builds this little description. And then you put it back in here into the description itself. And then this helps with search engine optimization. If you don't know what that is, this is how basically websites get found on Google and there are various search sites. There's a reason, there's certain things you do in order to trigger that to happen. And what's happening here is because these words in the description are also typically in the description as well and the transcript as well. So it's basically popping up twice here. And when somebody goes searching for a keyword, and actually you actually tell it to, after you have it generate this little description, you go, oh, and also produce a list of keywords. And so it goes through the transcript again and produces these keywords. It's a group of them and stuff. You can choose to use them if you want or not. Sometimes they're just too long or they don't really fit. But so a little bit of editing there. But again, you have the keywords. They match what's being said in the description. They also match what's being said in the transcript. So it's helping your video be found through search engines here on YouTube and Google as well. AI Scout is possible then. An AI Scout is possible. Sure. So anyway, and like I said, I just, this description, I've done this a couple of times for a couple of other videos now, and the descriptions actually are they're done pretty well. It's the first time really for me using ChatGTP, and I've been slightly impressed on this. Not that I plan on using it for doing too much of anything else, but as far as generating these little descriptions, it's pretty helpful, and it's not horrible. He didn't say no. An AI. How would I do an AI Scout? Just out of curiosity, what would you expect an AI Scout to do, other than sit there and eat food? Veronica with fur? No, that would be an insult to Veronica. I would never do that to her. I would never do that to her. So anyway, like I said, the descriptions, I'm going to start throwing those into different videos and stuff and see how they do. Basically, this is where we're going into the testing phase to see if this is worth the time, because this is not, if you're just doing one video a week or 2 videos a week, okay, this is not a problem. This is just a couple extra minutes. But I'm doing 6 videos a day. So this is a little bit more work for me. And like I said, I'm just randomly going through, and as I'm putting up new videos, I'm actually going back and going to be doing it for some of my more popular videos and see if it helps them get any more views or not. And yeah, we'll see. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, move on to the next thing, see what works. So, but this should work, I would think, because SEO is so friggin' important. It's not even crazy. Ask ChatGTP. How do I integrate a cat into my stream as a virtual pet? Is that what the question would be? Is that what we're looking for? But anyway, so that stuff. Oh, we got plenty of pictures. But the thing is if you want to make it into an actual character, like a little animated character, you need multiple pictures. Trust me, I've tried this. You're about a year behind me, Meerkat, and thinking of this stuff, because I've already tried this. Not a cat, the cat. Yes, I've already tried this with pictures of the dogs, trying to generate like a little anime character based on pictures of, say, Mickey and Rocket. It doesn't come out very well. In most cases, has not come out at all. But that's for free stuff. Maybe for a paid product, it might work better. But for free products, it doesn't work very well so far. Again, it's something I dive into every now and then. But again, I first started looking at doing the virtual pet through either Mickey or Rocket images and stuff about a year ago, and it just didn't work. It didn't look good at all. Or Japan stuff. Yeah, like I said, I've tried. It's not very. It's not the best. It's AI generating stuff like that is got a little bit of work to do, at least on the free side of things. For a paid product, might be a different deal. Hey, let's welcome back. There's some AI company will happily take many monies to automate it. Yeah, of course they would. Of course they would. And that's what I'm trying to avoid, is trying to pay a lot of money for something that probably won't work. Any streams, if you notice AI generated slop on them. The description might be okay, you guess. Well, you got to remember, the description for that video that I showed are based on words I actually said in the stream, or at least words that the YouTube transcript heard, because the transcript does pick up voices, game voices too. Like when the characters talk, the YouTube chat or the transcript does pick that stuff up. So, but anyway, anything that is producing that description for the YouTube video is based on stuff actually said in the stream. And of course, the stream, it doesn't know what game I'm playing. The only reason it knows what game I'm playing is because it's because I specifically tell it this is the title of the stream, which includes, of course, the name of the game, which ChatGTP doesn't technically know, but it's using its brain to make that assumption. So yeah, I have no problem with the description. I was actually pleasantly surprised the way that the descriptions are coming out, because they've got an AI vibe to them. I've had to edit a couple of them because of that, but for the most part, they come out pretty smooth. And it's like, and just reading the description, I go, hey, yeah, that actually happened. That's actually what I did in this video. Then that's the funny part. It actually made me laugh a couple of times yesterday when I was playing with it. It's like, yeah, I actually remember that actually happening. So that's,
Hey, bag of
for me,
water.
that's good.
It is time to take a break. Go stretch your legs. This break supports the purchase of Rocket's treats. If you would like to help Rocket feel like a puppy again, please visit gimpyknee.com/support or type !treats in chat. Thank you.
Get your tinfoil hats. Skynet is evolving.
Break is in 1 hour.
It's getting better. It's getting better, which is good. Well, it's a thing. It's a thing, and it helps. So, I guess the question now is, so do we want to keep looking at these stats? I guess I didn't really go through the games that I played. There we go. So that's for this year. These are all the games I played this year. Or sorry, streamed. These are all the games I streamed. All 48 of them. Warhammer. What the hell is that doing in there? I don't remember streaming that. The first number here is the hours. MechWarrior. I'm surprised, but I thought I played MechWarrior more than this year, but I guess I didn't. But there's actually some other ones too, like X4 wasn't nearly as much as I thought it would be, but then went to thinking back, well, yeah, this 19 hours. X4, we didn't play it so much because waiting for the update that they just did put out. So most of these hours were recently, like within the last, couple of weeks, is most of this time, that surprised me, because I thought I'd played the game earlier in the year, but I guess not. But as you can see, all the different stuff, all the hours. And of course, this is the good list. This is a good list to look at, mainly because you can see, it's doing SLAS, the number one, of course, in hours. Star Sector, that's not a surprise either, because Star Sector took over for X4. Baldur's Gate games, 2, Mountain Blade, of course. Star Wars The Old Republic, played that a lot, as you can see. And then we've got Neverwinter Nights, which you just started within the last month or two. So picking up there. Pillars, the game, and Pillars of Eternity games. Empyrean, we did that on a number of Sundays. Avowed, did a full playthrough there. And there's the other Baldur's Gate. Lord of the Rings, we did that for a little bit too. MechWarrior 5, we've done a fair amount of time on that this year. Oblivion, I played more time than I thought I did. 7 Days to Die, we're doing that every week for a while. Star Valor did quite. This number is bigger than I thought it would be. So is Enshrouded too. I didn't realize, because Enshrouded has been our filler game on Fridays for the year for the most part, and I was surprised it was this many hours. Nebulous, I didn't think I had this many hours, but I really enjoyed this game. I'm waiting for them to finish their campaign mode, which I'm looking forward to whenever that's going to be done. Ground of Aces, that's about right. Gone Medieval. So then again, this is when we're running into places where, yeah, okay, that seems right, and surprise, that kind of thing. But that's just to get an idea of what you've been playing. But this is the important number. The average viewers. Got to make the comparison between how many hours and then how many average hours you're putting or getting. How many viewers were you getting for that time? Star Valor's got really good numbers there. Downside to Star Valor is it's a good game. That's not the downside. It is a good game. The downside to it is it gets pretty repetitive fairly quickly, and the dev is a cool guy. It's a one-man shot. It's a one-man show for Star Valor, and he's doing a really good job. I like what he's doing. It's just that the development, of course, because it's one person, is a little slow, and but it's a fun game, and I'm looking forward to see what he's going to be doing in the future, because I really like some of the stuff he's done. It needs more. Did he do MechWarrior 5 clans and how it went? We did clans. Go away. It's probably on here somewhere. We'll see. But anyway, so Star Valley, Dawn Apart, 3 whole hours. What was this? I don't even remember this game. I think this is a city builder of some kind, a newer one. Baldur's Gate, of course, Enhanced Edition. Good hours, good numbers. So this is telling me Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition is a popular game that I should probably stream more. Problem is, I don't know if I want to. But these are good numbers here. 86 hours and a 26 average. That's really good for me. Maybe not for a bigger viewer, but for me, those are really good numbers. X4, that's numbers a little off. And this Legend. And this Legend 2. I don't even remember that. Apparently I did 6 hours of Endless Legend 2. I don't remember that one. Oh, this is the new one that just came out. This is officially not out yet, I don't think. But again, not long enough there. Solasta 2. We're looking forward to that next year. Well, it's going to early access in March. It might. I don't expect it to be done before 2027, though. Probably would be my guess. Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition. Really enjoying this. Again, I like these numbers too. Lots of hours. Good average viewership for me. Star Sector. Always a good performer for me for the most part. Warlords. This number is higher than I thought it would be, the 24 average. But that's only across 3 streams. We're going to have to revisit that probably this end 2026. Divinity Original Sin. 24 number is good, but I only streamed it twice, mainly because I don't like the game. Phantom Brigade. I need to revisit this because they just did the version 2 of it. It's fallen on by the wayside because of reasons. There's just too much stuff out right now. Baldur's Gate, of course. Oh, this is a stream that I labeled incorrectly as Baldur's Gate instead of Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. So that's why it's only 6 hours one stream. I messed that up. Doesn't really mess anything up because it's still 24. Then Solasta. Solasta is a pretty good performer on average. Numbers have been really weird this year, though. They fluctuate a lot. Not sure why, but they do. Pillars of Eternity did okay. Moria did not too bad. Mercenaries. So this is MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. This usually does fairly well. Consistently in that area. Warhammer 3, same deal. Assassin, probably need to get that back to that too. There's Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition. Not quite as good as Baldur's Gate 1. Why? A lot of backseat gaming there. Got a lot of people trying to tell me how to play this game. Got a lot of people, not just here on Twitch, but on YouTube too. So I think that's why this number isn't quite as good as the regular Baldur's Gate, because it's a bigger game. There's more to do there, basically, right? And yeah, there was a lot more backseat gaming going there. Pillars of Eternity, consistent with 1. Nebulous Fleet Command. Is that? Oh, that's what we were looking at. It was sorted differently before. But Nebulous, I like this game. Worldwide Rush is a newer game today, so haven't streamed it a lot. I played more offline than anything else. I do like the game, but it's still in development. Backseat gamers are so nice. Yes, they are. Project Zomboid. I only streamed this once. Master of Magic. Oh, I didn't play Master of Magic this year, really. I need to get back to that. Mainly because this is one of my all-time favorite games, even though this is technically a remake of it. But I like what they did as a remake. I just didn't play it this year because just trying to focus on other things. Project Zomboid. Played a lot of time here, which not too bad on the numbers. Enshrouded. Yeah, we saw that too. Jump Space. The okay numbers, but the game is a little too jumpy for me. RimWorld. I would stream RimWorld more if I could get slightly better numbers. If I can get this number up to 25, I would play this more often. Maybe a goal for this year. Jill Core. Oh, this is the game that Catger gave me. I've only streamed it once, but I've played it offline quite a bit. I think I'm up to like 30 hours or something like that. Somewhere around there. But I do like Drill Core. It's a nice little different take on a tower defense game. But I like it. for the most part. It's got some issues to it, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Let Them Trade. This is a newer game. Only put 2 hours into it. I like this game. I need to play it more than I have. It's not necessarily a good streaming game, but as just a general game, it's very tabletop-y. Tabletop game similar to well, you have to set up your basically your city connections or build your cities, and yeah, I don't get into it. But anyway, I like the game. I just need to play it more. Bannerlord. I wish this number was higher than it is. Mainly because I love Bannerlord. I really do. I just don't get the viewership on it for whatever reason. Probably because I suck at it. Ground of Aces, game still in development. Basically, it's RimWorld and World War II. I like this one too. Oh, look, just chatting. That's what we're doing today. Lost in Prayer. This is a fun little game. Basically, just streamed the demo and when it actually went into early access, I think. If the numbers were better, I would stream it more, but it's a fun little turn-based dungeon crawler game. Empyrean. I wish this number was better. This is my favorite first-person survival game. We used to play this on Sundays with Jeff for a number of weeks. So, again, I wish that number was higher too. But that's more related to the game than anything else, I think. I've played all the way through. I thought that number was higher than 19, but that's okay. Avalon. Hey, we were just talking about this the other day with Ring. Only streamed it a couple of times, it looks like. Again, this is a game I need to play offline more than anything else. Streaming-wise, I don't think it's the best streaming game. It might be, but it doesn't have a big audience is the main problem. Super Fantasy Kingdom. This is a tower defense type game, sort of, kind of. I was playing it there for a while, offline. Only streamed it once or twice. And not really my audience. It's a game that I like, but it's not really for you guys. The audience for this isn't big enough for me. My audience isn't big enough for that. Battle Brothers. Wow, I put 5 hours into that almost. I don't even remember playing Battle Brothers this year. Fellowship. That was the demo, basically. Deep Rock Galactic. I know a couple of people like this game. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't hook me. Oblivion. This is my first time playing Oblivion ever, the remaster. I put in more hours online than I thought I did. I put on a few hours offline too. Again, if this viewership was higher, I'd be playing this more. But I don't know if they've resolved. I haven't played it in a few months. I don't know if they resolved any of the little technical issues it was having. Probably not. Going medieval, another city builder a la RimWorld, but medieval. And again, the audience just isn't big enough. 7 Days to Die. Played this every Wednesday for a while with Jeff and Ragstone. Had a lot of fun with this game. But again, the audience here was not here. My stream this is not my audience, unfortunately. Path of Exile. I got 9 hours in there. I don't remember streaming that much. Again, I think this might be another. At definitely 17. I think this is a not good for my audience because this is a game that the action RPGs are games I usually don't play or stream, and I really haven't played them for the most part in a long time. And Variety, whatever that's supposed to be, and then Warhammer, whatever that's coming from. So that's all the games I played this year. So what does that mean for this year? Or sorry, for next year? Max viewers. Average viewers. Oh, yeah, again, this number. I wish I could do a double sort here. Like stream time and average viewers. I would like to be able to see here and then sort by here. Get a double sort going on. Max viewers, again, don't help. Followers per hour, blah. Average viewers. So MechWarrior Line. We might. I don't know. But I'm actually have been enjoying MechWarrior 5 more than MechWarrior Online lately, mainly because it's more chill. Not as it's not PvP is not the MechWarrior 5. So apparently, MechWarrior 5 clans isn't here. Did it come out in 20? I thought Clans came out this year. Was it last year? This is last year. There, because it was last year. Which did okay as far as viewership because it was a new game. That's why that did as well. Because again, this is a game for my audience. That's why the numbers are so much better. Even though we only played it for 32 hours, but still 29 over 30 hours is pretty good. December 24th. Actually, no. Yeah. Actually, no. It came out in October. Because this is the last time you saw me play. It was October of last year. What you're thinking probably is the newest DLC is when it came out. That's not when I streamed it. This is based on when I streamed it. This is not when the game came out. This is when I streamed it. Not the same numbers. See, and this is what I want to see for Master of Magic. For some mislabel. Or this is Twitch being Twitch, having two different selections for basically a slightly different game. But yeah. It's the same game. I wish you could merge these two together. Because this is Twitch just not having their labels correct and playing around with them actually. But anyway, that's from last year. But again, said MechWarrior 5 Clans. That this is the perfect example of playing the right game for my audience. Because got some good average viewers, hours over 30 plus hours. So those are really good numbers for me as far as the average over more than 10 hours. That's not too bad. Pathfinder, oh wow, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, 28 average on that in 2024. Tempting. See, Bannerlord always around the 20. I think that's might be more of a competition thing too. And again, I suck at the game. I'm pretty sure that's a real reason. But again, this is again from last year, not this year. But anyway, so that clips. Clips don't mean a shit here. No, Gary Gygax is wrong. Stompy. Oh, that's my first clip. This is from BattleTech way back when. 2017. Gary, that's when we're playing Baldur's Gate 3 and the Gary Gygax pronouncing drow versus dro conversation. That was hilarious. This one is old. Wow, I didn't think I had that many views on that one. That's Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I don't remember that one. Things broke. That's a Pathfinder thing. Why stream ended early? Oh, that was from earlier this month. I didn't realize it got that many views on the clip. Wow. I don't really look at my clip numbers here on Twitch. Because a lot the clips that I do now end up on YouTube, and that's where the big numbers come from. One of my clips actually, my best clip just broke 10,000 views over on YouTube as a short. The one where it's doing X4, and it's I think the title is My Captains Are Drunk. X4, My Captains Are Drunk. And the short broke 10,000 views this week, which is the best performer I have, which I know isn't great. I mean, I'm not kidding myself. It's not a huge number, but for me it is. So it's my best performer by quite a bit. So, and I don't understand why. I mean, every day I'm looking at my Twitch number or my YouTube numbers, and this stupid Captains Are Drunk. It's up in the top 5 every friggin' day for views over the past 48 hours. And I don't know why it's getting so much attention continuously. It just baffles me. But yeah. What else? Subs. We don't care about that. So streams. I don't remember this. Oh, we can actually go any day of the week. So you can go average viewers, stream duration, max viewers, hours watched, stuff, followers gained. So in this case, we're looking at average viewers. The more green, the better, or the lighter the green, the better. Yeah, the lighter the green, the better. No, that one's 31. It's 22. I guess that is lighter better because 35. It's 26. Yeah, so I guess the closer we get to white. No, that doesn't make sense. That's only 31. I guess it does. Yeah, it's just the shade is a little off sometimes. So anyway, let's say there's a no stream there, the black box. So yeah, so long story short, I saw a little bit of growth this year. Nothing spectacular, of course. Again, oh, this is the last 7 days. That's why we're looking at statistics and not the overall. So statistics this year, average viewers is up 1. Total hour stream is about the same. Followers gained is about roughly the same. We lost 14 this month for Twitch cleanup reasons. But otherwise, technically, we have 2 more followers than last year. Peak viewers, don't care about that number so much. Hours watched, a little bit more. And that's about it. So it was a growing year. It's not necessarily a good year, but it's not a bad year. So making progress. We like to see the slope in these numbers, going up. We don't want them to be flat. We want to see, these red and purple numbers, being on an incline, especially the purple one. This is an important one. Follows created and average viewers and hours watched. Those are, to me, probably the most important ones, because followers you got to have followers, otherwise the stream dies, right? And then hours watched is just is pretty much goes matches with your average viewers, and along with your hours streamed, right? You basically take these 2 numbers and you get the hours watched out of that. Typically, not exactly, but close. But yeah, these are, to me, the 3 most important ones: followers gained, average viewers, and then hours watched. Because that's what's driving the growth of the stream. And look at the little spikes here and there, but that's from raids and stuff. So, yeah. Okay, so that is YouTube and Twitch stuff for this. When we get back, what should we do when we get back? Because I do need to take a break. I'm pretty much out of water. So I think when we get back, we will want to do Steam cleaning up, or do we want to do looking at games next year? Although they kind of cross over, in all honesty. The wish list on Steam and the games coming out next year kind of merge together a little bit. So it's just a question of which one do you want to do first? Clean stuff up, or just go through the list of games that I'm not going to be playing? Because I went through that stuff and I'm not playing that, and I'm not playing that, and I'm not playing that. So, I mean, there's some stuff I'm playing, but most of it I have no interest in. So we'll go through that list first then, which will be that. And if you need that link, 225 worst games of the year. Oh, well, we can talk about that. But anyway, this article right now is there if you want to take a look at it ahead of time. But we'll look at that when I get back from break, because like I said, I do need to get some water and stretch my legs too. Been sitting too long. So anyway, be back shortly. Should be relatively quick. Hell, I'm not even going to run an ad break. We'll just I'll put the AFK thing up as a marker and go from there. So anyway, be back in a minute or 2. Need to get some water, see what Mrs. Gimpy's up to, see what Ronka's up to, and we'll continue on. So thank you very much for watching. Be back shortly. Enjoy watching the AFK screen.